One of my favorite stories is about Jim Carrey writing himself a check for $10 million for acting services rendered. He carried that check in his wallet for years until it became tattered and torn. But when he did The Mask, he was paid that $10 million paycheck. And after his dad's death, he placed that tattered, worn check he had written to himself in his dad's casket. There's a powerful, powerful meaning behind that story that I'll share in this video. There are a series of quotes that I go back to often. If we accomplished everything we were capable of, we'd literally astound ourselves. Without vision, people perish, and make no small plans. They have no magic to stir men's blood. The last of these was said by Daniel Berman, who was an architect who helped design much of the city of Chicago. Daniel Berman's philosophies around construction and design fit perfectly around the topic of this video, holding a bigger vision. If you want to accomplish more in your life than you currently have, then it is essential that you 10 times your vision bigger than what it currently is. You see, we've been trained to create SMART goals. Those are specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. But I think 3 of those categories are complete BS: achievable, realistic, and time-bound. I think the challenge for most people as they're setting goals is they don't want to set them too high because it might not seem achievable or realistic. But in reality, if we're truly going to set life goals for ourselves, they need to be almost unbelievable. Think about this. There are companies that are designing rockets to take off and land back on the base where they took off from. This was unbelievable just a few years ago. To give you a personal example of this, a big vision, a goal, might be to pay your house off early, but a bigger vision held might be to pay your house off by the end of this year. Now, that may seem unbelievable, unattainable, unachievable, but in reality, there are people out there who will do it. And just by posing the question, how would I go about doing this? It fires your subconscious mind into overdrive to help find some of the answers to that very specific and seemingly unachievable question. So take whatever big goal you have and multiply it times 10. If it's income, what would it take to 10 times your income? If you want to write a book, a bigger vision might be that you will finish your book by the end of this year and have a publisher waiting for you to publish it. See yourself looking it up on Amazon as a #1 bestseller, or even bigger yet, on the New York Times bestseller list. Just by putting the bigger vision out there, you will begin to create it in reality, even if that's only in your mind. And here's the most important part, because in your mind is where it begins. Spend some time today thinking about how to 10x your visions and make sure you're keeping them front and center. The more time you spend focused on those big visions, the more likely it is you'll begin to experience those things happening in real time. Hey, take a page out of Jim Carrey's playbook and write yourself a check, a massive check that you will soon be cashing. Hey, drop a comment below about what your big vision is, and if there's any way to help you achieve that, I absolutely will. While you're at it, subscribe to the channel and share this with a friend who might just need a little bit of dose of thinking bigger. Here's to the life architects and the big thinkers. See you on the other side.